Okay, the next category winner is the shopping category, and this was won by Xtra here in Singapore by P.A.C. or P.A.C.
Pack.
P.A.C.
P.A.C. Both is fine.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself and your practice, first of all.
My name is Pan. I graduated from the AA. And actually, we started a collaborative in London since 2007. And then we sort of gone our separate ways. And I came back to Singapore 3 years ago and started P.A.C. We do a number of projects of varying scales. We started by doing a lot of master planning projects. And actually, this is the first sort of interior product kind of project that we got hold of.
Okay, so tell us about the project. Where is it? What is it? What was the client after?
The project is in Xtra. Xtra is quite a well-known furniture retailer in Singapore. And Herman Miller is one of their best carrying brands. And they wanted to create a dedicated space for Herman Miller to showcase their work and with flagship capacity. So they told us to create a store within their store, and this come to us as a conflict that we have to create two spaces that are functioning integratively and at the same time maintain their own identity and characteristics.
Okay, yeah. And there seems to be this sort of fairly dramatic lattice, timber lattice. So tell us about how does that work?
How it works is it's formed by individual modular pieces, triangulated three-legged pieces, and they join together with a simple interlocking lapping joint. So you don't use nails or glue for it. And they form together simply with the geometry to form this surface. Yeah. And so it's meant to be lightweight. And we got this inspiration from the Herman Miller core products, which are the chairs. And they have actually two range of products. One is the heritage designed by Charles and Ray Eames. And their sort of the trademark is the molded plywood. And the second range is the work chairs, which are very modern and technologically quite advanced. So we thought of combining the two, using the plywood as a material and trying to go for something that's more pushing the boundaries in terms of production and technology. Yeah.
So you say you studied in London and you set up your architecture practice in London, but you've now moved to Singapore. Is that because you see more opportunity here, because it's a better lifestyle here, or just coming back home? What was the reasons for the move?
When I was moving back, it was sort of the beginning of the economic downturn in Europe. So I moved back coincidentally, finding opportunities in China. But gradually I see more projects available in Asia. And a lot of my friends who are left still in UK, they're struggling to find jobs, some of them.
Are they emailing you asking for got any
some of them have joined me. So I have a group of designers in my office, and some of them came from UK and some from the US. Yeah.
And is this typical of the scale of the work that you do, or are you working on much larger things as well?
No. In fact, this is the odd project in my office. But it's a project that we can't miss. It's just so special, and the client is interested to try something new that no one has done before. Most of the work we are doing is on a master planning level, and quite large projects. So we have one monastery currently under construction in north of India.
Monastery?
Yeah, it's an education center. Actually, it was shortlisted as well, but we didn't get the future projects category. And we have built an assembly hall also in India, in Ladakh. And we are working on hotels and other larger projects in the region. In Singapore, we're looking at smaller projects like something like that, which is a bit one-off, and also bungalows and villas.
And do you see that the East, the Singapore Pacific Rim, is really eclipsing the West now in terms of the excitement of the architecture and the way things are moving?
I think there's a lot more things happening in Asia because economically it's still progressing. But the West is where a lot of fundamentals and fundamental ideas are generated, and they're still very relevant to Asia. So, but also from the Chinese perspective, there's a lot of ideas and also philosophy that's also unexplored in terms of the design realm. So it's about how do we reconcile the both and look at how we can selectively or create a certain context for ourselves.
And you studied in London. How long will it be before architects like you don't have to go to the West to study? Are new schools emerging? Are new schools of thought as well as physical schools emerging in the East?
I went to London because of the experimental nature of education, but I would say largely in Asia we are still trying to keep up with that because we are more ends-driven as an education industry. But in the West, I would say generally in UK, it's a lot means-driven. So we are results kind of, results-orientated in that sense. So I think once we reach a level of maturity in terms of a discourse and debate, we would be able to go for something that is more means-driven. Yeah.
And do you see that emerging already, or is it too early?
It's slowly,
yeah.
because now in Singapore, at least, I'm actually quite motivated. There's a lot of young practices popping up here and there, and we are trying to do something different and trying to find the Singaporean context, and we're doing it individually, and so it's quite getting more vibrant. I think in the near future it would be much better.
And what do you mean by Singaporean context? What would be the things that would start to define that?
Culturally, we are quite unique. You can say that we are sort of in the crossroad between the East and West. We have a completely modern master plan. The whole Singapore is built up with a Corbusian vision. But culturally, we are quite ingrained still with a lot of Asian thinking. So the Singaporean context is that cross between socialistic thinking as well as democratic and capitalistic thinking, and I think in that sense I do see a lot of difference between Singapore as a state with other countries and other cultures, but we are constantly trying to find ourselves because we are such a melting pot, and everyone who comes here learns English, and they sort of blend in together into one whole thing. It could be that the multiculturalism is the Singaporean context, but it's a bit overused now. So how do we go further and more specific in terms of that?
Well, great. It must be exciting to be at the forefront of helping to define the new Singaporean identity through architecture.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on winning. Good luck later on, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.